What's happening, my friends? It's Cast Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT, Mike Mazik, Al Booger, Melanin Queen 27. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cast Sports, the Box Historian. Today, top 10s in boxing history. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Box Historian bringing you all that boxing history. Because boxing is the greatest sport of them all. And that's why we love it. Cannot get enough of it. How was everyone this Monday afternoon? Back right at the beginning of another big week of boxing history, brought to you by the box historian of the JBT. How was everyone's weekend? Hope everybody had a good one. Let's talk fashion in the building. What's up, Let's Talk Fashion? I'm filing a complaint too. Let's Talk Fashion. Age discrimination. I was 3 minutes late, sir, then I got read the riot act. I ain't gonna say no name, somebody else was 20 minutes late, came in almost at the end of the show, nothing said. So I'm gonna contact the Better Business Bureau or somebody, the FDA, NAACP, somebody. I'm filing the age discrimination report. But yeah, today is see that man on the thumbnail there. Look at that chin. Square, looks like steel. You know, if you're doing a top chins show, you got to include Canelo, or you just hating. But how is everybody doing today? It's Monday. We're in fight week for the big. Speaking of Canelo, in fight week for the Canelo Edgar Berlanga fight, but not because of that fight, but they did put together a very good undercard. We're gonna look at it in a minute, but first, let's look at this big week of boxing history straight in front of us. Of course, today is the top 10s in boxing history. Then tomorrow, the legend versus the legends series continues. This week is going to be Iron Mike Tyson matched up against the legends. Iron Mike Tyson versus the legends. People like, you know, the big one of the biggest dream matches is Mike Tyson and Ali. But we're going to throw Joe Louis in there, Larry Holmes. Now, we actually did get Mike Tyson and Larry Holmes, but it's not going to be that Larry Holmes. That was the old 38-year-old past his prime Larry Holmes. This is going to be the Larry Holmes from 1978 that won the WBC World Championship. We're going to match Mike up against that Larry Holmes tomorrow. Big George Foreman. We almost got that one. When Mike came out of prison, they were in talks to get him against Big George, but that was the second Big George. The Big George we're going to talk about is the one from the middle 70s, the one that fought Ali, Frazier, all them guys. And both Jacks, Jack Johnson and Jack Dempsey, Rocky Marciano, but that's tomorrow. Trump in the building. Salute, Trump. How are you today, my friend? Good to see you. And Technique. Salute. What's happening, Technique? Good to see you again. Yeah, Canelo, no doubt, Technique. And not just right now, one of the best of all time, man. You know, I seen in those 3 Triple G fights, I seen Triple G hit Canelo with some stuff that would have put me to sleep for 6 months. Canelo just looked at him and fired back. Yeah, a couple times when Triple G landed, I said, that's it. He gonna knock Canelo out. Canelo didn't even stumble, didn't even take a backward step. Yeah, look at that chin, man. Look at it. It looks like a solid chin. But yeah, no doubt, technique. You are correct. Canelo, by far, has the best chin in boxing right now. That's not even arguable. 100% technique. I agree. Yeah. Technique said Canelo has the best chin in boxing right now, and that is 100% correct. Okay, now Wednesday, we're going to get the interview done this week. Marvin McDowell, me and Thomas Hill are going to interview. I'm not sure if it's going to be Wednesday just yet, but it's coming. Okay. But tentatively Wednesday. Then Thursday, the Boxing in the State series continues with boxing in Iowa. I know Iowa isn't exactly the ideal place you think about when you're talking about boxing, but we're going through the alphabet, so yeah, Iowa is next this week. And then we end up this big week of boxing history with the profile every week, and it's going to be the life and career of Benny Leonard. I had forgot for a minute. Benny Leonard, big time boxer from the lower weight classes, back from the 20s. Yeah, Benny had quite a career. International Boxing Hall of Famer, winning in 1990 in the old timers category. So that's what we got coming up this week. But yeah, we're in fight week for Canelo and Edgar Berlanga. Wouldn't it be something if Edgar Berlanga start up another first round knockout streak Saturday against Canelo? I don't think so, though. But they were smart. They knew they had a dud in the main event, so they put together quite an undercard. And I had it sitting right in front of me, and now it's gone. But let's look at it right quick. There's been a Cool Boy sighting. Cool Boy is on the card. He makes his return after about 15 months. Stephen Fulton. After the monster beatdown, he's back in the ring. That's what you got to do. Don't let the loss define you, Cool Boy. Get back in there. You know, get your get back. Maybe you'll get Monster again. Now, you have to go to Japan again because Monster ain't coming out of Japan. As long as he got those titles. But hey, don't eat none of that cake they ranked you this time. So they bought Cool Boy a cake over there to his room. The Japanese people did. I know he wasn't crazy enough to eat any of it. But yeah, it was just a beatdown. But Cool Boy's back in the ring on the Canelo card this Saturday. Okay, let's look at it right quick. Let's run over it real quick since we're in fight week for it. But how was everybody's weekend? Was it good? But yeah, let's talk fashion. That age discrimination suit is coming. Yeah, I've contacted the Better Business Bureau. Oh, who's NAACP? Who do I contact? One of them, somebody. But it's coming. Okay, Canelo taking on Edgar Berlanga. That's for Canelo's. I thought the IBF had stripped him. I think he's just unified champion now. Yeah. But then the undercard is fire. Not fire. We got Erislandy Lara and Danny Garcia. They've been trying to make that fight for the longest, but we finally getting it. And that's for Lara's WBA middleweight title. Okay. Caleb Plant versus Trevor McCombie. Trevor McCombie ain't bad. I don't think he's gonna beat Caleb, but he'll make it a competitive fight. That's for the interim super middleweight title. I don't know why they're fighting for that. Canelo ain't gonna fight neither one of them. So, Cool Boy Stephen Fulton versus Carlos Castro. Cool Boy's up at featherweight now. Remember before the monster fight, he was getting ready to go to featherweight for a rematch against I can't think of the guy's name. But he was going up to 126, but then he stayed there to fight Monster. And Rolando Rolly Romero makes his return after he lost his belt to Pitbull. Rolly's fighting Manuel James. And just a great fire undercard. Yep. And we're in fight week for that one. Coming up this weekend. And we're going to get started in about 5 minutes. Waiting for some more of my friends that come around 2:30. Al Booker is in here. Lonnie Lee will be here. But yeah, part of this Fire JBT network. Why don't we due out commercial right now, featuring Big Dre, hashtag JBT. But let's talk fashion, hashtag JBT too. He wears the JBT behind his name. We're all JBT, but everybody don't put it on there. But I try to acknowledge the people that do. And let's talk fashion is Wednesdays at 10 a.m. And it's almost time again. Unbelievable. Seems like the Let's Talk Fashion is every day, man. Seems like I'm coming on 2 or 3 times a day. I remember Friday was just like a couple of hours ago. I was sitting here telling y'all have a good weekend, and now we're back. Starting out another week of boxing history. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Who fought Saturday? I didn't even see it. I think it was a women's championship fight from New Zealand. Lonnie Daniels versus Bola Tito Olawale. I don't even know who won. I couldn't find it. But let's talk about this big time raffle we got coming up with these 3 prizes. Okay. Me and technology, we don't get along too well. Technology hates me. It don't treat me right. Help somebody. Remo, Melanin Queen 27. Somebody. Help. Okay, we're going to get it done though. Here we go right now. Wait a minute. What am I doing? Not that one. There we go. Oh my goodness.
How much is it to enter, you ask? Just $10. Or you can catch the deal with 3 entries for just $25. It's easy to enter. Just cash app your entries to $ JBT Network 1. That's $ JBT Network 1. Our second item is a set of Kenichi Bear Bluetooth noise canceling headphones. Great for gaming, movies, or travel. As the second prize in this great raffle. Our third item is a Ninja brand air fryer. Great for all your air frying needs. Cooking healthy with the JBT. So send your entries via Cash App to JBT Network 1. That's JBT Network 1. $10 each or 3 for $25. Put raffle on the comment line and you are entered.
Okay, there we go. All right. We're going to get ready to get started with the show. But yeah, Melanin Queen got it right there for you. I had it on mute. I told you, man, technology don't get along that good. But yeah, it is quite, yeah. Now we have Sam Melanin Queen. But yeah, that is quite a raffle, man. 3 first place prizes. Apple 10th generation iPad, Kenichi Bear headphone, and the air fryer. Can't beat that. You better get your chances because Melanin Queen and Michael Garner ain't playing. They have numerous chances. They have numerous block specials. They get a block special every week. So, and one person can win all 3 prizes. Okay. So, have you got yours yet? You better get them. Okay. But today is some of the best chins in boxing history. The Canelo got a good one. He's not my best all time. Now most of these are former boxers. I don't do that many current, but I got an honorable mention with some of the current boxers, like Triple G and Danny Garcia, Al Booger, Tank. Both Charlos had good chins. So we got an honorable mention where I included some of the current people in it. Okay. All right. But Jarrell Patty. Salute, Jarrell. Good to see you. How are you this Monday afternoon? Early in the week. On Cast Sports, the Box Story, part of that Friday JBT network. Still early in the day. We got Just Do Boxing coming up at 4. Then we got BVO Boxing TV coming up at 8 p.m. The Mighty Rise podcast closes it down at 9 p.m. And we start all over with J Hardcore at 8 p.m., 8 a.m. in the morning. Then that's our lineup Monday through Thursday. But then on Wednesdays, we got Let's Talk Fashion at 10 a.m. And then Friday mornings at 10 a.m., we add in the casuals, Remo and Aunt McQueen. And I might own Let's Talk Fashion and the casuals after my age discrimination lawsuit goes through. But we'll see how that works out. Yeah. I was talking with the NAACP just before I came on. Do they do age discrimination? You know, the Better Business Bureau, the FDA, somebody. But I'm going to get in contact with the right people. But let's get ready to start talking about top chins in boxing history today. That's the show today. And then at the end, have a little bit of time left. I'm going to talk about some of the most iconic fights. There's a difference between the iconic fights and the best fights, you know. Iconic fights aren't necessarily the best. They are like the biggest with the biggest legendary names, and they don't have to be the best fights. The best is like something like that Virgil and was it Boychuk? Was that his name? That fight, but that wasn't exactly the most iconic fight of the year. We're going to talk about 10 of the most iconic fights in boxing history, time permitting, at the end of today's show. Okay? But right now, we're going to talk about top chins in boxing history. Appreciate everybody for rocking with me on this Monday afternoon, getting another week of boxing history started on Cast Sports, the Box Story of the JBT. Just boxing talk. Group of people who love to talk boxing and fashion. A little fashion on the side on Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. And the casuals, they talk all sports. But what a time to be a sports fan. We had the first Monday night football game tonight. What a time to be a sports fan. NBA going into camp. National Hockey League. Man. Baseball is the pennant races going down and the postseason getting ready to kick off. What a time to be a sports fan. And then the greatest sport of them all, boxing, going full speed ahead. Sports fans are living large right now. I know I am. Who's playing on Monday Night Football tonight? Anybody know? At the NFL yesterday. Yeah. First full day kicked off. Very enjoyable day. I was going to see who played tonight right quick before we get started. How come I can't find Google? Anybody know? Put it in the chat. Is it in there? Yeah, put it in the chat. Who's playing tonight on Monday Night Football? I can't find that big G for Google. Oh well, somebody will let me know. This will be the first Monday night game tonight. We got Monday night, we had Thursday and Friday. The NFL is just doing NFL going to be 7 days a week. Yeah. Had the game from Brazil, the Eagles and the Packers. It's crazy. Okay, let's go with today's show. Top chins in boxing history. Canelo, his chin just looks tough, man. You know, It's wide. It's squared off. If you hit him in the chin without a boxing glove, you would definitely break your hand on it. Oh, thank you, Mike Mazik. Jets versus 49ers tonight. New York Jets versus the San Francisco 49ers. When if Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the field. I remember they made all the hoopla about him last season. Then he got hurt in the first game, at the beginning of the first game, and missed the whole season. Wasn't that something last year? The Jets was already celebrating a Super Bowl win. And Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the first game and didn't see him again. That was crazy. Top 10s in boxing history. Now, over the years, there have been some incredibly tough fighters that have stepped into the boxing ring, no doubt. That goes without saying, as you have to be tough to accept a 10 or 12 round or even 15 round boxing match. You know, some of the fighters on this list fought 15 rounds in the eras they competed in, right? Now, one of the key qualifications for ring greatness is sheer toughness, the ability to absorb heavy blows and keep fighting on, right? Now, over the long history of the sport of boxing itself, there have been some incredibly durable fighters, but not all fighters are built the same. Not all fighters are built the same. Some boxers rely on their cardio. Some rely on their power. And the fighters we talk about today rely a lot on their chins. Although not totally. You know, some of them have all those other ingredients in their repertoire too. Okay? Now, while these boxers didn't win every fight of their careers, it was nearly impossible to get them out of there easily. And despite battles with some truly dangerous opponents, they seldom went down, and without exception, always got up when they did. Okay? So the first one is going to be Carlos Monzon. King Carlos Monzon, that is. There's King Carlos Monzon. He fought in the 70s. Marvelous Marvin Hagler is going to be next week when we do the Legend against the Legends. And this will be one of those matchups. They both missed. They were fighting about around the same time, but Carlos was toward the end of his career when Marvin was just coming in. Boxing Talk with Banky and Jay. Hardcore in the building. Salute. What's happening? Boxing Talk with Banky and Jay Hardcore. That's Jay Hardcore, the founder of the JBT. See, you got that hashtag TBP, excuse me. Hashtag TBP and hashtag JBT. Those are two heavyweight organizations there. But salute. Jay Hardcore. We are talking about some of the top chins in boxing history today, and that's King Carlos Monzon right there. He's going to be first. In time permitting, we're going to talk about some of the 10 most iconic fights in boxing history. Right now in this long name, Boxing Talk with Mikey and Jay Hardcore. Okay. King Carlos Monzon, though, yeah, he had a good chin. No, great chin. These people today don't have good chins, they have great chins, legendary chins. Now, one of the toughest of middleweight champions, the Argentinian had 100 professional fights and visit the canvas in just 2 of them. Okay? 100 fights. Imagine how many rounds that is. He only hit the mat 2 times, right? One was an early loss in 1964 at the beginning of his career to the more experienced Felipe Cambero, and the other was the fellow champion Rodrigo Valdez, right? And this was in Monzon's final fight in 1977. 2 knockdowns. The first one was at the beginning of his career, and the second one was at the end of his career. But in the middle in his prime, never hit the canvas. King Carlos Monzon. There he is. Next. Now, most of these are former. I usually deal in former fighters. But when I'm doing a category and somebody active is just exceptional, I have to include them. That's how I had to include Canelo in the chins. Like when I did switch hitters, I had to put Bud in there, you know, when we come to somebody really exceptional. And when I did the greatest knockouts of all time, I had to put Tank and Leo Santa Cruz in there because that was top 10. The way Tank put that guy to sleep. Ant McQueen, what's up, Ant McQueen? In the building. The other half of the casual. Both halves of the casuals in here now. Salute Ant McQueen. Yeah, next is William Gorilla Jones. Here's Gorilla. Now, William Gorilla Jones, in 144 fights, Gorilla Jones was off his feet just one single time. Imagine how many rounds that is. 144 fights. That's how they fought back then. Just got knocked down one time. And that was by the great middleweight champion, Freddie Steele. Put him down and took a legendary champion, put this man on the mat one time in 144 fights. Incredible. Incredible. That's right. Smash on that appreciation button. That's the like button over here to JBT. They looking okay. Could be better. Always could be better, but I'm happy. Next, Carmen Basilio. There's Carmen. He was a middleweight champion back like the 50s. In the 50s, middleweight was off the chain. That's when Sugar Ray, Jake LaMotta, Carmen Basilio, Gene Foreman, Randy Turpin. The 50s was probably the greatest era ever up in the middleweight division. 1950 into the early 60s. And Carmen Basilio had one of the greatest chins of all time. The rugged, call him the onion farmer. He battled some of the all-time greatest both welterweight and middleweight, okay? And he was on the canvas just once in 79 fights. And when he narrowly beat Sugar Ray Robinson in their first epic battle, it was reported he shook off punches that would have knocked down a horse, okay? And there with the great Sugar Ray Robinson. 79 fights. Hit the canvas just once. Now that's a chin. Because you're constantly getting hit, you know, in our sport, right? You're constantly getting hit hard. This man only hit the canvas one time, 79 fights. Yep. Carmen Basilio. Next, Panama Al Brown. Panama Al. There he is. Now, this great bantamweight champion was knocked down one time in a total of, get this, 168 fights. I don't have to say no more about him. One time in 168 fights. He fought back in that era. when 200 fights was nothing. Some of them had 300. He had almost 200 fights, only hit the canvas once. Now that's a chin. That is a chin there. Next, the legendary Barney Ross. There's Barney. In a Hall of Fame career, featuring dozens of matches with numerous fellow greats, Barney Ross just went down just once. Okay? And that knockdown was by the great champion Jimmy McLaurin. Barney went down only one time in his career. Okay? He was approaching like 200 fights. Don't know the exact amount, but it was close to 200. Okay? Let's find out. I should have did that. I'm sorry. But yeah, Barney, and he fought the great Jimmy McLaurin. Only went down once in his career. Here it is. Google. I found it. I couldn't find it before. I was trying to find out who's playing Monday night, but Mike Mazik bailed me out, you know. Who is it? The Jets and the 49ers tonight? What a time to be a sports fan, man. NFL done started. Baseball pennant race is going on. The postseason getting ready to start. The NBA headed to camp. National Hockey League. And boxing. Our sport. Clicking on all cylinders. What a great time to be a sports fan. But Barney Ross went down one time, okay? In a total of, come on, Barney, you're holding me up. Yeah, Barney had 81 fights, only went down once in 81 fights. That's a chin. I told you, some of the greatest chins of all time. You know how many rounds that is? 81 fights? How many times this man was getting hit in the face hard? And back in that era, the best fought the best. You wasn't in there with no fringe. And he only went down once. Cannabis Education and Entertainment TV in the building. Salute. You get an education on cannabis there. Cannabis Education and Entertainment TV. Salute. We talking about some of the top chins in boxing history today. Talking about mainly former boxers. But you know, when you get an active boxer that's exceptional like a Canelo, you talk about chins, it's criminal to not put Canelo on the list. You know, that chin he had. Like Technique said, Canelo has the best chin of active fighters by far. I don't think anybody's even close to him. Yeah. Like Melanie Queen said, don't forget to push the like button on your way in and on your way out. Appreciate it. Okay, after Barney Ross, he went down one time, 81 fights. Pancho Villa. Now, Manny Pacquiao ain't necessarily the greatest Filipino fighter of all time. It could be this man right here, Pancho Villa. He was the first Filipino world champion, okay? And he died young, tooth infection. The doctor told him, you know, he had a tooth infection. He still fought, then the doctor told him to go home and rest. Pancho went out there and partied. He had to rush him to the hospital where he died at, you know? Mm-hmm. You know, he won the fight. He went to the after fight party. Yeah. Lost his life. Now, despite fighting over 100 times in his brief life and career, Pancho Villa was never knocked down. Okay, never. Not just once, never knocked down in 100 fights. Standing at 5 feet 1 inches tall, the Filipino boxer's chin and toughness were the stuff of legend. Now, while he passed away at just 23 years old, Villa did a lot of living in that time. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame decades after his sudden passing. Because, 1990 when they started it, right? And his durable nature played a big role in his success in the boxing ring. Pancho Villa, arguably the greatest Filipino fighter of all time. Fought back around the 20s, teens, 20s. I think he died about 1923, 22, 23, somewhere in there, 23 years old. Similar to Salvador Sanchez, remember, had that car accident at 23 and died, but both still legendary. Now, if Pancho Villa had went up into his, not died at 23 and went into his prime, had a complete career, Manny Pacquiao wouldn't even be talked about as the greatest Filipino fighter of all time. This man is still arguably the greatest Filipino fighter of all time, and his career ended at 23 years old. He went into his prime, Manny would be great, but he would be number 2 for sure, and still might be number 2. Okay? Pancho Villa. Next is the greatest, Muhammad Ali. Got to, just like Canelo, you doing a greatest chins list and don't put Muhammad Ali on it, the police should just come get you and just give you no, put the needle in your arm. Greatest chins list without Ali on it, just give you the death penalty, man, because it's criminal. Ali was as durable and tough as they came. Deadly bangers such as, now listen to this, Sonny Liston, Big George Foreman, Smoking Joe Frazier, Oscar Bonavita, Ken Norton, Ron Lau, and maybe the hardest puncher in boxing history, Ernie Schaefer. Ali was in the ring with all of them. All tested Ali's chin. And the greatest proved more than their match. As Smoking Joe Frazier once said after their fight in the Thriller, and after the third victory in the Thriller in Manila, Joe Frazier said, "Man, I hit Ali with some punches that would have knocked down the walls of a city." Okay? And Ali didn't go nowhere. He went down in the first fight. But that third one, Joe Frazier hit him with everything. Ali was still standing, won it. Now, Ali was never knocked out. Never knocked out. His one stoppage loss came at the hands of Larry Holmes when he had no business still in the ring, by the way. This was in 1980. And even that was stopped by his corner, okay? It wasn't like he gave up or nothing. Angelo Dundee and them threw the towel and saved him from himself, okay? So, you don't become the greatest fighter of all time by accident. And Muhammad Ali's legacy is as secure as his chin was. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest chins of all times. Okay? Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the most iconic fights. It's the difference between, like I said, between iconic and best. Best is just like good competitive fights. Iconic is like the level of the fighters that's in the fight. It don't necessarily have to be the best fight, but just some of the most iconic fights of all time. Like Floyd and Manny, fights like that. With, two of the biggest names of the area. That definitely wasn't one of the best fights of all time, but it was one of the most iconic. Follow me in the difference between that, yeah. Just like the level of fighter, not how good the fight turned out to be, because that wouldn't be nowhere near a best fight of all time. But next, after Muhammad Ali comes Billy Graham. There's Billy. Appreciate everybody rocking with me today on Cast Sports, the box story of the JBT. That's boxing talk, y'all. What just happened? Okay, I'll figure that out later. Billy Graham. There's Billy. Now, this tough New York welterweight had no fewer than 126 fights, including battles with Joey Giardello, Kid Gavilan, and the great Carmen Basilio. And guess what? Never was off his feet. Never, ever. 126 fights. Never got knocked down. Tell me that ain't a chin? Never knocked down. 126 fights. Imagine how many rounds that is. How many hits, hard hits he took. Carmen Basilio, Kid Gavilan, Joey Giardello, and never with killers like that. It never went down. Nope. Next fighter, top chins of all time, is the Marvelous One. That's him and Sugar Ray, ain't it? Yeah. Man, most of them pictures is looking good today. Remo, you still in here? Hope you got your notepad and stuff out. That was good. I'm sorry, I must have made a lot of noise on that one. That was good. Drink it. Marvelous Marvin Hagler makes the list. Top fighters of all time. As everybody today, Monday, another week. Did everybody have a good weekend? Hope everybody did. 2 o'clock is the highlight of my day. When I do my little part in the JBT. 2 to 4. The box story of the JBT. Yeah, Marvelous Marvin Hagler makes the list. There he is. Marvelous Marvin Hagler was the world's best middleweight for almost an entire decade. And famously, one of the 4 kings of boxing. Remember? Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, despite fighting in arguably the most exciting middleweight era ever, one of them, because in 50 was about the best. But anyway, Marvin was never stopped. Never. Not just once, he was never stopped in a fight. Hagler's chin was the stuff of legends, which was seen through his fighting style. He would walk right through his opponents and break them down. And without the chin he had, that would have never even been feasible. A host of heavy punches, including the hitman Thomas Hearns and John the Beast Mugabe, could not put Marvelous Marvin Hagler down. Hitman or the Beast couldn't do it. Hagler only tasted the canvas one time in his career on a bogus knockdown to the Argentinian Ron Rodan. And he didn't even really get knocked down that one time. Got an asterisk by it, okay? The Marvelous One, the only time he went to the mat, got an asterisk by it. It wasn't really a knockdown. Was it Richard Steele? Hugh Gas? Was it Richard Steele refereeing that? Might have been Richard Steele. I'm not sure. Yeah. But yeah, Marvin went down one time. And, that was a controversial one. Yep. So, he got a chin. He got a beard on him. He don't even wear a beard. The Raging Bull. Jake LaMotta. There he is. That St. Valentine's Day Massacre fight against Sugar Ray Robinson. He supposed to went down 5 or 6 times in that fight. And after the fight, they stopped it. But Jake walked up to Sugar Ray and said, "You didn't knock me down, though." Sugar Ray put some punishment on him at that fight. But Jake did not go down. Not one time. Not once. Okay? Jake LaMotta. In 106 fights, the Bronx Bull. Now see, the movie and stuff was called The Raging Bull. The guy that wrote the book that the movie was made from the Raging Bull. He called it the Raging Bull because he said a lot of people had never heard of the Bronx, but his name actually was the Bronx Bull. But that's why the movie was the Raging Bull. The guy that wrote it changed it to that. Because a lot of people hadn't heard of the Bronx, so he said the Raging Bull. Now, the Bronx Bull hit the deck on just one occasion during his career. He fought the great Sugar Ray Robinson 6 times. And even Sugar Ray could not put Jake on the mat. Okay? But Sugar Ray 6 times, never went down. Went down once in his career. And guess what? The one time he went down was an admittedly thrown fight. Okay, he went down on purpose. Okay? Yeah, that was when he testified before Congress. He admitted he threw that fight for the mob. Only time he went down in his career was fixed. He was paid to go down. Okay? That's what kind of chin Jake LaMotta had. Enough said. The Bronx Bull went down once, paid to go down. So nobody really knocked him down. But it's on his record as a knockdown. But he was paid to go down. Okay? Kid Gavilan. It's still Jake. It's Kid Gavilan. Yes, Kid. Kid Gavilan. One of them chinny guys. Okay. Let's talk fashion. How you doing today? How was your weekend? Let's talk fashion. Got my preview ready for tomorrow at 3:45. Yes, Let's Talk Fashion coming up again Wednesday at 10 a.m. Another fire episode. Once a week, but seemed like every day. We just had one, but I ain't mad, because I enjoy them thoroughly. Yep. Anybody ain't seen that, man, you're doing yourself a disservice. You better check it out. And I guarantee you, you'll be back next Wednesday. Be back every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Everybody in here done seen it. Yeah. If you got any voyeurs, Let's Talk Fashion, 10 a.m. Wednesday, okay? Part of that Fire JBT network. That's our fashion. We got everything over here in the JBT. And we got Melanin Queen 27 in the JBT too. No other organization has a Melanin Queen 27, and I guarantee you that. None of them. Okay? But Kid Gavilan. Did I talk about Kid Gavilan yet? I was running my mouth. I can't remember. I don't think so. Kid Gavilan. That's him on the screen. Now, against the likes of Ralph Jones, Bojack, Jimmy Bell, Ike Williams, the great Carmen Basilio, and of course, the greatest of them all, Sugar Ray Robinson. Gavilan proved his chin was rock hard. He went down 2 times in a total of 143 fights, just twice. In 143 fights, just 2 times. That's something. Okay. It's 3 o'clock, right? Almost a couple of minutes. Let's do this. Take a break real quick. Okay, y'all don't mind, do you? Take a break real quick. Find out how you can win yourself some beautiful prizes. I mean some beautiful prizes.
It's time for another raffle brought to you by the JBT. Our first item is a new 10th generation iPad with a liquid retina display which shows off beautiful color and has plenty of power for all your handheld computing needs. Great for work, play, or just movies on the go. How much is it to enter, you ask? Just $10. Or you can catch the deal with 3 entries for just $25. It's easy to enter. Just cash app your entries to $JBT Network 1. That's $JBT Network 1. Our second item is a set of Kenichi Bear Bluetooth noise canceling headphones. Great for gaming, movies, or travel. As the second prize in this great raffle, our third item is a Ninja brand air fryer. Great for all your air frying needs. Cooking healthy with the JBT. So send your entries via Cash App to JBT Network 1. That's JBT Network 1. $10 each or 3 for $25. Put raffle on the comment line and you are entered.
You are in. Okay, like Big Dre said, you are in. Now let's resume with the top chins in boxing history. Next, Canelo. Yeah, like I said in the opening, just like Muhammad Ali, you cannot do a top chins in boxing list without putting Canelo. If you don't have Canelo, you just hating. Okay. You know, you got to put all the ducking and all them kind of moves and making to the side when you're talking about their chin. Just look at it, man. I wouldn't hit him in the chin with a baseball bat or something. I would, but not with my fist. Old as I am, I probably would never recover from that. And then what's going to come back? You hit Canelo in the chin, you better run after you hit him. But Canelo makes the list. Okay? Canelo Alvarez. Now, Canelo is still one of the current stars of boxing. Okay? He's currently unified champion at super middleweight. Didn't the IBF strip him? I thought they did. Yeah, I believe the IBF did strip Canelo. And like Technique says, he has the best chin of any current active boxer by far. Okay? And Canelo has never been knocked out, never been stopped. And guess what else? Canelo has never even been knocked down in 65 professional fights. You could drop him in any era, and he would still have a distinction of never being stopped or knocked down. He probably have a lot more losses in other eras, but I don't think he would never have tasted the canvas yet or been stopped. If you're going to beat Canelo, you got to do it on the cards. You are not knocking him out. Okay? And speaking of Canelo, we are in fight week for Canelo and Edgar Berlanga. Fire undercard, man. They knew. Anybody watch no Canelo and Edgar Berlanga, but they put together a fire undercard. I ain't buying it no way though. But I'll watch it later. But yeah, fire undercard. Caleb Plant and Trevor McCombie. Trevor should give Caleb a competitive fight. I'm picking Caleb. Cool Boy sighting. Cool Boy on the card. Rolando Rolly Romero makes his turn without his belt, which he didn't deserve in the first place. Okay? He didn't even deserve the title shot at his first fight at 140. Then he was getting beat. Tony Weeks cheated for him. Okay? And then we got the fight we've been waiting for a minute. Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara. Danny said he's going to end Erislandy's career, but I don't know, Danny. Lara coming out of that Cuban boxing system, man. It's hard to beat them Cubans. I'm just telling you what I know. It's hard to beat them Cubans, man. So, Danny, I don't know. You might be on the road a check that your ass can't cash. You know? So, Danny, just stop talking. Just get in there and do your thing, bro. But Danny also, speaking of chins, Danny has a good chin, too. Yeah. I got an honorable mention of some active fighters. But yeah, Canelo makes the grade. Okay, after Canelo comes Oliver McCall. Yeah, Oliver, he had a good chin. I mean, he cried and he stopped fighting and cried one time. I don't know what was up with that, but he had a good chin. Listen to this. Oliver McCall's legacy in boxing is a bit of a strange one. He's a former WBC heavyweight champion. He famously upset Lennox Lewis by knockout. But a few years later, he lost to Lennox by stoppage after suffering a breakdown mid-fight. He just stopped fighting and started crying. I'm not lying. Look at it. The man just stopped fighting and burst out crying. Walked away. And that was the end of it. Right? Mid-fight. And he has one of the best chins in professional boxing history. In 75 heavyweight fights, totaling 436 rounds, he was never knocked down. And guess what? His only stoppage was a fight where he stopped and started crying. Okay? If he'd have kept fighting, he probably wouldn't have any stoppages. 75 professional fights, 436 rounds, never knocked down, and only stopped one time when he stopped himself. He just stopped fighting and started crying and gave Lennox Lewis the win. Had knocked Lennox out a few years before that. So Oliver has a very solid chin. Oliver McCall. Only stoppage, he stopped himself. Yep. Yep, Oliver had a solid chin on it. Yeah, 436 rounds. Never knocked down. Only stoppage was when he quit on his own. Next is Randall Tex Cobb. Here's Tex. Randall Tex Cobb. Let me do something right quick. Yeah, he was in the fight with Larry Holmes where Larry just battered him for 15 rounds. Randall wouldn't go down. That's when Howard Cosell, he was through with boxing. Because it was such a mismatch, you know. Larry just beat him up for 15 rounds, bad. And his corner wouldn't save him from himself. They just let him take the beating for the entire fight. And Howard said, I'm through with boxing. And he never commentated or anything else with boxing anymore after that. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Randall Tex Cobb. Yeah, there he is. Now, Randall Tex Cobb. There were a lot of great heavyweight lost to time, and Randall Tex Cobb was one of them. He scored wins over names such as Ernie Shavers and Leon Spinks. And Cobb only lost once by knockout in his lengthy career. But he is more known for his 1982 loss to Larry Holmes. The Eastern assassin bludgeoned Cobb, who refused to go down, and his corner wouldn't save him. They let him do that for 15 rounds. The fight was brutal to watch. That's what made Howard Cosell just leave boxing altogether. And in later interviews, Cobb stated, now listen to this, Cobb stated that Holmes would never box him again because his hands couldn't take it. His hands couldn't take beating on his head like that. So Holmes, that's what Cobb said. Holmes never agreed to the rematch because his hands couldn't take it. Wow. Yeah, his hands couldn't take it. Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, T. Hill? I didn't see you come in. Or did you just come in? What's up, T. Hill? Yeah. Me and T. Hill had a good boxing talk before I came on. I can call T. Hill about something. Plan on being on for 2 minutes, and we end up being on there for 2 hours. Man. Just talking boxing. Yup. But salute, T. Hill. Good to see you today. Yeah, Melanie Queen is definitely the moderator. Yeah, Randall Tex Cobb, he had a chin. Sometimes these guys' chins be so good it be to their own detriment, though, you know. And they have those corners that I guess they done told the corner before the fight, whatever happened, don't stop it, because they definitely. I don't even know why the referee didn't stop that. The Holmes that was just a beating, man. Carl wouldn't go down, his corner wouldn't save him, the referee wouldn't stop it. It was just terrible. I told you, Howard Cosell said, I'm through with boxing. Anytime they do some nonsense like that. And Howard never commentated again, never had anything else to do with boxing after that. That was like in the 80s, early to mid 80s. I can't remember exactly when it was. It was a brutal beating, man. Get a chance to look at it. You probably wouldn't even look at the whole fight after you see like a 7 or 8 rounds of that beating. And it went on for 15 rounds, man. It was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And speaking of Larry Holmes, the Eastern Assassin makes the list. There he is. Eastern Assassin. Yep. I was trying to see if that was Tex Cobb. No, I don't think so. No, that ain't Tex Cobb. Tex was white. That's the black guy. Yes. Had to put my glasses on. Larry Holmes. Speaking of Larry Holmes, just talking about him with the Tex, the Eastern Assassin also had an ageless chin. Former heavyweight champion. He boxed well into his 50s and faced too many legends to count. Despite that, he was only knocked out once. And again, like when Ali was in there against him, for his only time he got stopped, Larry was in there against Mike Tyson, shouldn't even have been in there. Yep. Both times, guess who was hanging around in the background causing the nonsense? The sleazeball, Don King. He made Ali fight because Ali had been in the hospital months before the fight and owed Don money for the hospital bills, and Don made him fight Larry Holmes to pay back the hospital bills. And Larry told Don no at first, but then Don offered him $3 million, and Larry said, yeah, and got in there. Only time he was stopped was by Mike Tyson. But tomorrow, when we do Mike Tyson against the legends, we're going to do the Larry Holmes, 1978 Larry Holmes. The one when they originally won the WBC title against Ken Norton. We're going to see how that Larry Holmes deals with Mike Tyson, okay? Tomorrow, Mike Tyson versus the legend. Not the Larry Holmes he beat. We're going to see the prime Larry Holmes. He was 38 when he fought Tyson. We're going to see the Larry Holmes in his prime, like about 29, 30-year-old Larry Holmes. See how that works out tomorrow. Don't miss it. Mike Tyson, Iron Mike Tyson versus the legend. A Thomas Hill idea. That was a good one, too. But next, on the top 10s of all time, Big George Foreman. There's Big George. Big G. We're moving on up. We got Just Do Boxing coming up in about 45 minutes. And we're gonna get some link time today. Okay. Big George. The Big George is interesting because he was a part of not one, but 2 different eras of heavyweight boxing. Furthermore, the man in his 20s who famously fought Muhammad Ali couldn't have been anything more different from the 45-year-old who won the heavyweight title against Michael Moorer. Like I always tell you, it was like 2 different people, man. It was like with just another person named George Foreman. It wasn't even like the same guy, man. Yep. But he came back and won the heavyweight title. And he was in some tough fights. He had a good chin. George Foreman. Big George. There he is. Okay, next is winding down now. Tommy Farr is next. It's Tommy. Tommy Farr. Called him Tough Tommy Farr. There he is. Tough Tommy Farr from Tonpandy, Wales, will forever be remembered for not only lasting the full 15 rounds with Joe Louis, but actually giving the Brown Bomber a very good competitive fight. Farr was stopped 5 times, but 3 of those losses were earlier in his 126 fight career, and 2 when it was well past his prime, right? Got stopped a few times early, a few times late, but in the middle in his prime, one of the best chins of all time. The Louis fight was one of the ring's great exhibitions. It showed how to endure under fire and give some back against an all-time great puncher. As James P. Dawson reported in the New York Times, Farr, though he was beaten last night, battered and bruised and pounded with staggering force at times, won glory in that he attained the unique distinction of surviving 15 rounds against the master puncher of the day, the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis. Yep, Tommy Farr had a great chin. Like I said, stopped 5 times, but 3 of them was early, 2 of them was late. But in the middle, even the Brown Bomber couldn't stop him. He beat him, but he couldn't stop him. Next is Gene Fullmer. That's Gene on the right. That's Gene and Sugar Ray Robinson, by the way. Gene was called the Mauling Mormon, the Mauling Mormon, Gene Fullmer. Now, he was stopped only twice. The first time when Sugar Ray Robinson hit him with one of the greatest left hooks ever thrown. And that was in the middleweight championship rematch. In 3 other 15-round fights with Sugar Ray, Fullmer took the best punches that the greatest fighter in history could deliver. He was stopped for the second time in his career when cut and battered. His corner threw the towel in after the 7th round against Dick Tiger. Okay, but by that time, Fullmer was 32 years old toward the end of his career. Then the third of his 4-fight series with Sugar Ray, this was a 15-round draw. The Associated Press reported that Sugar Ray rattled numerous rights off the granite-like jaw and chin of Fullmer, and that it seemed impossible for the 29-year-old to survive the attack. But he did. Fullmer did survive it, though, and defiantly told the press afterwards that Sugar Ray never hurt him. He said, he never hurt me. And Sugar Ray was landing some punches on him. But Fullmer did not go down. Fought Sugar Ray to a 15-round draw. And then, he had to be on here. The Rock. That's another one. You do a best chins list and don't put The Rock on it, I'm calling the police on you, okay? I'm snitching. You do a best chins list and don't put Rocky Marciano on it, I'm snitching on you. I'm calling the police. I'm calling 5-0. Can't be done. A best chins list without Rocky Marciano. No way, Jose. The Rock should be up toward number 1. I ain't saying he is number 1, but he should be up in that direction. Only heavyweight champion to retire undefeated. The Rock. Rocky Marciano, 49-0. He had like an 88% knockout rate. Now, let me do it for you. 49-0 with 43 knockouts. I love knockout rate. Right? 87.7. That's 88%. I ain't had to go way over there and get my calculator today. But Rocky Marciano. Okay? Now, Rocky Marciano's ability to take punishment and keep coming is the stuff of legend. He was dropped twice in his 49-fight career. all of which were victories, of course. Coming back to knock out wonderful sharpshooters Jersey Joe Walcott and Archie Moore. Now, although the great Ezra Charles bloodied Marciano in each of their two fights, he could not stop the Rock's relentless advances. Marciano simply seemed unstoppable in these fights. As observed by writer Ed Fitzgerald in the January 1953 edition of Sport magazine, you can, as with an enraged grizzly bear, slow him down and make him shake his head if you hit him hard enough to wound him. But you can't make him back up. The Rock, Rocky Marciano. Yep. Now we come into my top 10 of all time. One more after him. Not Harry Grieve. Harry Grieve is next. There's Harry. But it ain't him. No. It ain't Harry Grieve. So next is going to be my top 10 of all time. Harry Grieve. The old human windmill, that's what they called him. He was as tough as they come. Now check this out. In 240 fights, he was stopped twice. 240 fights. That's the average of being stopped once every 120 fights, right? And he was outweighed normally. And then when he suffered a broken arm, he got stopped once when he was outweighed, and the next time he had a broken arm, he was stopped, okay? Those losses came in the first 2 years of his 13-year career. A great middleweight champion, he fought the best of his era, including top light heavyweights, Gene Tunney, Tommy Loughran, and astonishingly, Grieve fought the last several years of his career while blind in one eye, okay? The general consensus being that he had been thumbed in the eye in a 1921 fight. For the last few years of his career, blind in one eye. Crazy, ain't it? Now, the toughest chin of Cass Sports' toughest chin of all time. George Chuvalo, old school fighter. Fought in the 60s. I think he might have came up into the early 70s. George Chuvalo. That's number one. Okay? Now, George Chuvalo isn't a name that's really remembered these days. That's honestly a bit of a shame, as a Canadian faced incredible competition. He fought multiple former heavyweight champions, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, and more in his legendary career. Incredibly, Chuvalo was never knocked down in his 93 fight career. 93 fights, never knocked down. He was stopped twice on his feet, but he never touched the canvas, ever. Let's look at some of these iconic fights real quick before we drop this link in there, okay? Yeah, that's the number one toughest chin of all time for me, George Chuvalo. Okay? George Chuvalo. Now, like I was saying, there's a difference between iconic fights and good competitive fights, right? Iconic is just like the level of the two competitors in there, you know, like Ali or Frazier or Floyd Manny. Don't necessarily have to be the best, but we're gonna look at some of the most iconic fights of all time. Follow me? Okay. How's everybody doing? I hope y'all enjoying the show today. Appreciate everybody rocking with me. We're right at the beginning of another week of boxing history. From the Boxtorian of the JBT, Cass Sports. That's me. Okay. Now, top 10 most iconic fights of all time. Number 10, Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao, May 2nd, 2015. Okay. Now, After a half decade of delay, this so-called fight of the century was much more of a dud than a bang. Still, it was the most watched and lucrative boxing match in history. And for better or worse, it's emblematic of this current era of the 1% versus the 99. In Las Vegas, the private jets of the rich and famous packed the MGM Grand, and the endless stream of celebrities filed past the cameras. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, the poor crowded close together to watch the satellite feed on outdoor screens. And even if the fight itself lacked drama, the pageantry surrounding it was clearly iconic. For younger fans, it was a moment of edification, and for older fans, it was a welcome reminder that no other cultural event can rival a big-time prize fight when it comes to making the entire world stop and pay attention. And that fight did. For the first time in a generation, the Mayweather-Pacquiao clash raised the sweet science back to the glamour it deserves. Yeah, Floyd Manny did it. Yes, it did. Next, number 9. We're counting down. Number 9. Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. The 1. June 19th, 1980. The Brawl in Montreal. This was the fight that kicked off one of boxing's greatest eras, the age of the Four Kings. Yep, this was the first Four Kings fight. Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran won. Salute, Ace. How are you? Yeah, we talked about the top chins in boxing history today, Ace. Now we're talking about 10 of the most iconic fights of all time. Not necessarily the best fights, but the most iconic. Okay? Now, number 10 was Floyd Manny, of course. Number 9 is Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. This was the fight that started the Four Kings series right here. Right? Now, the nickname collectively assigned to Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Thomas Hands, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the Four Kings. And they were given that name by sports writer George Kimball. He wrote a book called The Four Kings. That's where that name came from. Now, Leonard was sports' emerging golden child, taking over for the retired Muhammad Ali, the face of boxing, Olympic gold medalist, all that. And Leonard even had Ali's trainer, Angelo Dundee, right? And after establishing himself as a household name by winning gold in the 1976 Olympics, Leonard had cruised through the professional ranks, winning the WBC welterweight championship from the great Wilfredo Benitez in 1979. Now, Duran was already a living legend by that time when he moved to welterweight, okay? He went to the 70s, had a record of 71 wins, just 1 loss. And he had established himself as arguably the greatest lightweight in history. So Duran was already a legend by the time that fight came around. That's why I call it iconic. Now, while Leonard was the face that graced boxes of Wheaties and hawked soda pop on television, Duran was a beloved icon of the hardcore fans, a ferocious, highly skilled assassin. For this fight, Leonard returned to Montreal, the site of his Olympic glory. Duran managed to lure the younger fighter into a test of machismo, getting Leonard to engage in the sort of brawl that favored Duran. After 15 extremely, now this was one of the most iconic and best fights of all time. This was both. After 15 extremely competitive rounds, Leonard had his first professional loss, although he had also demonstrated that he had a true warrior's heart. Duran had his second world title in as many divisions. Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay? Next, Mike Tyson versus Michael Spinks. Okay? That was a big one. It wasn't that good of a fight, but it was iconic. Yep. More than 30 years after he exploded onto the scene as a teenage wrecking ball, Mike Tyson is still one of the most high-profile boxing figures in the world. You know, he appeared in movies, and he even had his own one-man show on Broadway. Now, his campaign to become the youngest heavyweight champion in history remains one of the most exciting times in the history of boxing. In the late 1980s, Iron Mike's suave of destruction in the ring made him a mainstream star. And he's going to be the subject of our Legend vs. the Legend series tomorrow. Okay? No single fight more perfectly symbolizes that era than Tyson's 91-second destruction of Michael Spinks. Yes, 91 seconds. Spinks had won a gold medal as part of the same legendary 1976 Olympic team that Leonard had won his gold medal on. Spinks had conquered the light heavyweight division during one of his most competitive eras, and he jumped to the heavyweight and handed the great Larry Holmes his first loss, although I think Larry Holmes won that. By the time Tyson fought Spinks, he had collected all 3 alphabet soup belts. Yeah, we had the WBA, WBC, and IBF at that time. Tyson had all 3 of them. Now, Tyson had, but the Tyson of this era was a force of nature who defeated opponents before they even got into the ring through sheer terror and intimidation. Spinks, despite his stellar resume, was no different, lasting barely half a round. This would be Spinks' last fight. Given his great career, it was always disappointing that this was his most lasting image in boxing, was that 91-second destruction against Mike Tyson. Yeah, but that's what it was. Gene Tunney versus Jack Dempsey, September 22nd, 1927, okay, which was won by the long count fight. Gene Tunney actually beat Jack Dempsey twice, but Jack Dempsey was way more popular. And the long count was when Jack Dempsey wouldn't go to the neutral corner. A lot of people say he threw the fight trying to give Tunney time to get up, but I don't think that was the case, because that was the first fight where the neutral corner was in effect. Before that, the boxer who scored the knockdown could stand right there with the referee while he counted. That was the first fight where they started sending them to a neutral corner. So Jack Dempsey probably wasn't used to that. And the referee was telling him to go to the neutral corner. He might have been confused. That's what took him so long to go there. I don't think it was thrown or anything. But anyway, he lost the fight. That was the rematch. Okay. Then we had most iconic fights of all time. We had Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, the Rumble in the Jungle. Okay. George Foreman was just destroying everybody around that time. Everybody thought it was going to be the same thing for Ali, but Ali pulled out that rope-a-dope from his toolbox for that one. BBO Boxing TV. What's up, BBO Boxing TV? You talked to Tia Freemore yet? Tell him what I said about that Steve Plackett situation. We don't want no more Steve Plackett. Okay. If you haven't talked to him yet, BBO, don't forget to tell him. We don't want no more Steve Placketts out of him. But salute BBO Boxing TV. BBO's favorite fighter is Tank, by the way. Okay. Let's continue. Yeah, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, the Rumble in the Jungle. Yeah, George Foreman was just destroying everybody. He knocked Frazier out in 2 rounds. And on the way to that knockout, he knocked him down 6 times. And everybody was like, what is Ali going to do? Forget getting those titles back. Don't get in there with that monster. Ali pulled out that rope-a-dope, man, and knocked Foreman out. Wasn't no TKO. Knocked him out. He was down for the count. 10 seconds, yeah. That was the Rumble in the Jungle. And Don King did it up. He had a big old concert over there, all the biggest soul acts of that time. The Godfather himself, James Brown, headlined the concert. Soul Power. It's a movie out. Check it out. Came out in the 90s called Soul Power. James Brown, B.B. King, Bill Withers. All the big time acts from the 70s was there, man. Yeah, Don King Don King was doing the kind of stuff the Saudis was doing 50 years ago, man. Not just giving fights, giving events. Okay? The turkey ain't got nothing on Don King. Then we had Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, 1. No. 3. The Thriller in Manila. The greatest fight of all time. They almost killed each other in that ring that night, man. After the 10th round, I don't know how they kept coming out there. And after 14 rounds, Frazier couldn't see. His corner had to save him from himself because Frazier was coming back out. And Ali said, when Ali got to his corner after round 14, he told Angelo Dundee, cut his gloves off. I'm not going back out there. And if Joe Frazier would have waited a little bit longer to throw his towel in, he would have won the fight because Ali said he wasn't coming back out either. Joe Frazier just threw the towel in first. And Joe Frazier's son, Marvis Frazier, was sitting on Ali's side of the ring, and he sort of read the body language, and he was trying to signal his father's corner. He was facing his father's corner, did not throw the towel in because he felt Ali's was coming in, but his corner didn't notice him, and they threw it in. But yeah, Frazier threw the towel in first because Ali had already said he wasn't coming back out there. Him and Angelo Dundee was arguing because Angelo wouldn't cut his gloves off, and Ali told him, I ain't going back out there. But yeah, that was the greatest fight of all time. That was the fight that brought me into boxing. So after that, I was kind of disappointed because I thought every fight was going to be like that, man. You know, they would, after each round, after 10th round, they would go to the corner dragging in slow motion, like, I don't know how they kept, but when that bell rang, they were right back out there. And then the reason Ali wasn't coming back for 15 because he threw everything but the kitchen sink at Joe Frazier in that 14th round. Joe Frazier should have been on his chins list. I'm sorry. But Joe Frazier would not go down. And Ali just punched himself out in 14. He had nothing left. But like I said, Joe Frazier threw the towel in first. He would have waited a little longer, he would have won the fight. Because Ali had nothing left. One of the most iconic, that's another one that's most iconic and best fights of all time. The Thriller in Manila. The greatest fight of all time. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. And then James J. Corbett, John L. Sullivan, September 7th, 1982. That was John L. Sullivan was I think that might have been the first glove fight. John L. Sullivan was the last bare knuckles champion, and he was the first glove champion. That might let me see. John L. Yes, that was the first heavyweight championship fight of the glove era. It sure was. John L. Sullivan was the last bare knuckles champion, and he was the first glove champion. Yeah, that was the first championship fight of the glove era. Jack Johnson, James J. Jeffries, that was the first fight of the century. That was when he was upset to have a black heavyweight champion, and James J. Jeffries was assigned to get this belt off of this black champion. And Jack Johnson knocked him out. A 15th round knockout, so he still had the belt. Okay? And then we had then the link coming in. Joe Louis and Max Schmeling. Joe Louis got him in the first fight. That was very iconic because that was when the Nazis and Hitler was acting up over there in Germany with the Aryan superiority thing, and this fight was so big and iconic that guess what? The president of the United States, one of the Roosevelts, I don't know if it was Franklin, it was Franklin, because which one was the one way back there that went up the hill? Was that Theodore? I think this was Franklin. Called Joe Louis to the White House and told him how important it was for him to win that fight. That's how big that was. So Joe Louis already had a lot of pressure on him because he had been beaten by this man, right? That was his only loss was to this man. Now he got the pressure of the whole free world on his shoulders. So he didn't play with his food. He went in and knocked Max Schmeling out in the first round. Yeah, didn't play with his food, but he had a lot of pressure on him. Anytime the president of the United States calls you to the White House and tell you how bad he needs you to win the fight. Imagine that, man. And then finally we had Joe Frazier. Muhammad Ali won the fight of the century. This was the fight where Ali had been suspended. He was coming back trying to get his titles, and Joe Frazier was the champion. Ali was hated by the war crowd because of what he did to Vietnam. Joe Frazier was the hero of the war people. And Joe Frazier did try to go in the military, but some kind of disability, or I don't know what it was, but he wasn't allowed to go in. So he was a big hero of the war crowd. Ali was the enemy of the war crowd. And Bruce Gass told me a lot about this. He said how the people outside the arena that night was Madison Square was fighting, had sticks and everything, just battling outside that arena. It was big, iconic, man. The fight of the century. Yeah. And March 8th, 1971, Joe Frazier won it. Their two daughters even had a fight 30 years later. On March 8th, 2001, Ali Frazier fought. Later, Ali and Jackie Lyde Frazier. Yeah, that's how big that was. The daughters fought 30 years later. And Ali won. Ali Frazier fought too. Let me drop the link in though. There you have it. The best chins in boxing history and 10 of the most iconic fights of all time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Appreciate everybody rocking with me. Do I have 30 likes? Oh man, nope. Well, I guess you wouldn't get those 60 hits from Jay Hardcore off the bag. There's 30 likes, he would double it, 60 hits on the bag tomorrow, but he ain't gonna get it. Oh well. But let's put the link in. Okay. Don't worry, when I retire, I'm gonna go over there and hit it myself. Okay? You're gonna see me over there in the hangout in the morning. I'm gonna hit the bag myself, man. Okay? Yeah, right. And it's gonna get 10 feet of snow tonight here in Baltimore. Okay. But appreciate everybody. Still early in the JBT day, though. We got Just Do Boxing coming up at 4. Let's do this while I'm putting the link in. Okay? Let's do this while I'm putting the link in. Everybody have a good weekend. Mine was okay. I didn't do nothing. Chilled. I didn't even see the fights this weekend. Let's do this. Wait a minute. I'm gonna stop talking so I can get this right. Okay.
It's time for another raffle brought to you by the JBT. Our first item is a new 10th generation iPad with a liquid retina display which shows off beautiful color and has plenty of power for all your handheld computing needs. Great for work, play, or just movies on the go. How much is it to enter, you ask? Just $10. Or you can catch the deal with 3 entries for just $25. It's easy to enter. Just cash app your entries to $JBT Network 1. That's $JBT Network 1. Our second item is a set of Kenichi Bear Bluetooth noise canceling headphones. Great for gaming, movies, or travel. As the second prize in this great raffle. Our third item is a Ninja brand air fryer. Great for all your air frying needs. Cooking healthy with the JBT. So send your entries via Cash App to JBT Network 1. That's JBT Network 1. $10 each or 3 for $25. Put raffle on the comment line and you are entered.
There we go. What's up, Gio?
Oh man, just learning how to cook healthy with the JBT.
Okay. Oh, you got one of those air fryers over there?
I got a couple of air fryers. It's not the Ninjasu though,
Yeah,
but
me
it's
neither. I need that Ninja.
yeah, that Ninja boy getting he's cooking healthy over there with the JBT. You
Yeah.
gotta love that, man.
Somebody gonna win one
That
in about a month from now.
man, you know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna win them headset, them headphones, man. That's what I'm really talking about.
Me too. That's what I want.
Them headphones with some. I'm about to go on over to KenichiBear.com, get me some.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do too. Yeah.
You know, chances are I won't be winning. Nothing.
Who fought this
bad
past
one.
weekend, T-Hill?
Huh?
Who fought this past weekend? I didn't even see it. I knew there was something on.
Oh, it was Walsh. I think Liam Walsh. He was fighting some Garcia cat over there.
Women fighters
Overseas.
something.
Most of the fights were overseas. There was a fight card in Australia, and there was some other fight card.
It was a women's fight too, right? A championship. I think.
Yeah, it was a fight card on Swerve. He got
Yeah,
it was one in Australia as well too.
You think Berlanga got
other
a chance
ones on
this
the
weekend?
zone?
Think Berlanga got a chance this weekend?
Got a chance to get knocked out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Berlanga's gonna make it entertaining for as long as it lasts.
Right.
But he gonna like what you're gonna see, man. And this is the thing, like, and this is what Bevo himself said. Now you talking about somebody who used to bullets flying at him, the whole different type of pressure, whole different type of strain. This Mickey Fricky said, hey, his arms hurt for like 2 months after fighting Canelo.
Damn, who said that?
He just had the resolve in him to say, like, I'm gonna put up with this.
Yeah.
And when he hires out and when he's finished, I'm gonna get my stuff off and I'm gonna disrupt him the whole fight long. Huh?
Who was that said his arms hurt for 2 months?
Oh, that was Bivol.
Oh, Bivol, okay.
Yeah, Bivol said, yo, man, this dude hit hard. He's like the hardest dude that I've ever been hit by.
Who was the one that had like a ligament or something hanging? Was it Joe Smith? Somebody he fought, remember? Hit him on his arm so much.
Yeah.
I forgot who was it? Billy Joe Smith? Somebody, one of those.
So you know, Berlanga's a dude that gets hit. And he likes to get hit trying to throw his stuff off. It's gonna be entertaining until it's not, and it's over with. I mean, that's just what it's gonna be, man. And I mean, Canelo, if he gets hit one solid one and don't go down, he probably will start backing up and being a little cautious. But Canelo hit hard, man. I mean,
I know.
And on top of that, he get to eat that carne asada out there from Mexico, and you know it's laced with all that other stuff. So he get an advantage with that.
Good undercard though, you know.
Very good undercard, man. I mean, it's solid action. This fight card.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's to make the event even so much more special, so that people will buy into it, man. I mean, you already got Canelo name, and that's guaranteed about 500,000 pay-per-view shares. You add a better card, and you know you get even more.
Get the other people interested, the non-Canelo people. You know, Cool Boy coming back at 126. Has he ever fought at 126 before?
Cool Boy?
I
don't think so. But I think,
but he didn't fight him. Remember?
Yeah, I think that was 22.
Yeah, and he was gonna fight him a rematch at 26, but then the monster fight came up, and they didn't do it. Remember?
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened with the monster fight, but I would like for him to rematch that fight, man.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be in Japan. You know that. Yeah, Lance Monster got them titles.
But I do have a pretty good relationship with the Donaires, and well, Nonito won't say it, but you know his manager definitely was. She said there was some things that was going on that allowed for that second fight to end the way that it did, because they forced him to fight in gloves he don't like to fight in.
Yeah,
and then like some of the things that he was privy to out there wasn't available to him, so he wasn't able to fully find himself comfortable.
In their first fight, you know.
Yeah, that first fight, man, you know, I thought that they gave that fight to Monster.
Because Nonito was on it, man.
Nonito, to me, he won 8 of the 4 out of 12 rounds.
Yeah.
To me.
But, you know, in Japan.
You know, I give him the credit of that one round where he got the knock. He scored the knockdown, but I still had Nonito winning the fight. But, I mean, Nonito still. I mean, Naoya still was a. I mean, that boy showed hard up in that fight because he was getting his ass banged.
He had a broken orbital bone. I don't know when that was
bad.
broken.
Pause for the pause worthy people up in here.
You know, you got a broken orbital bone and still getting hit on it, man. You got that.
Yeah, man. You I can't. But see, this is the thing, though. Because of that broken orbital bone.
Yeah.
That's why I say people got to think when they speak, man. He get in that ring with Tank.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's at 130, man, it's gonna be hard for him, man. Tank a different beast, and Tank can take his pressure. He can take his speed because Ryan Garcia is fast as hell. Fast as hell. He throws fast ass punches. If he can't hit him. You mean to tell me this dude gonna hit him? Now he a little quicker than Garcia with his movements, a lot quicker.
You don't know how Monster Power gonna be as he go up neither. You always got that question mark too.
I don't think that would be a problem. I think he'll carry his power up. Yeah, I mean, like I say, man, I'm no hater, bro. I give him his credit, man. That dude, for him to start so low and still coming up and dominating folks the way he is, man, and, you know, either he's on some super advanced nutrition, if you know what I mean, or it's just natural. Yeah. So like, you know, same thing with Crawford, man. The way for him to carry up and the higher he gets, the more knockout he gets. Come on, man. You know, either you got some super advanced nutrition or you just was fighting at weight that you shouldn't have been fighting at. Now you more at a weight that you should be at. So
that's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe he was just because he's Japanese, he can be slim and still function, but he should have been a little bit bigger. And that's what I'm thinking, man, because he looks bigger than a lot of fighters he's in the ring with. He looked bigger than Cool Boy.
But whatever weight he been at, he always seemed like he carried his weight well at each division as he progressed, you know?
Yeah, he definitely carries his weight well. Also, man, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that Shar was in here telling you numerous times that Just Do ain't coming on at 4.
Oh, he's not? Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
So you got some time to rock. I guess you won't be penalized with it.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Because, you know, I don't think he's coming on. She didn't actually say what time he would be coming on, but that he's not coming on at 4. Okay. So I don't know if he has something that came up or the case may be.
Yeah. Okay,
but yeah, you know, chins is underrated, man. You know who else got a chin that don't ever, like we were discussing? Tank got a heck of a chin, man. You know what I'm saying? He got hit square by a lot of heavy hitting punchers, and he stood strong through all of them. You never seen him wobble.
I meant to do an honorable mention of the active fighters, but I said like Tank and Danny Garcia, Triple G, the Charlos, you know.
Yeah, Triple G got a heck of a chin, man.
Those fights they had, anybody else would have, either one of them would have knocked somebody else down, man. They was tagging.
They took some punches that would have put most people on the canvas.
Yeah. Did you think Triple G won the first one? I think that was the draw.
Triple G definitely won the first one. I thought he won the second one too, but I could see a draw. The third one, it wasn't even a fight. Yeah, Canelo
they shouldn't even have had the third one.
Yeah, Canelo at that point in time definitely was.
Yeah, and Triple G
much more advanced.
That was his last fight, wasn't it? He ain't fought since then.
Yeah, he shouldn't fight since then, but I think he probably went to like overseas and fought, but
something like that.
Yeah, nothing serious.
Yeah, he ain't been
nothing serious at all.
Yeah, I don't think Just Do coming on at all today. I don't see no.
He might not be coming on at all. Yeah, he might not be.
No thumbnail set up. Nope. Well, thank you,
Melanie. Maybe if Ann McQueen is up in here, we might be able to throw something together.
I wasn't even paying attention, man.
But you know, Ann McQueen, he got too many things going on right now. That boy juggling so much stuff.
He was in here early, like at the beginning. I saw his name.
Yeah, he was. I saw him.
Yeah. I can rock down at least 4:30. I got a couple of things I got to do later, but yeah, we can go on. Hey,
Melanin Queen, if you can you send that memo to my phone as well too, because I think I might have to do it from my phone, because I be on my phone more so than my computer, and my computer oftentimes occupied by children, so it might be a little bit easier for me to do it through the phone.
Oh, she got the where you can go to purchase them at. Yeah. Use code TRP for 15% off. Yeah, I need me a pair of them, man. Because these ones I got is kind of low.
Those are some very good ones, man. Unfortunately, some kids got a hold to the ones that I had. I gotta get some more.
You had a pair of
That's
Kenichi
why
bands?
I'm hoping. Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Off that code TRP.
Yeah.
Off that code TRP. But we got to plug that young brother as much as we possibly can, man, because it's a solid product. And, you know, he's doing good things, man.
BBO said his favorite fighter is Jamal Charlo.
Because he used to be a former boxer. I think he was an amateur.
BBO, you know Tank, your favorite fighter. BBO said his favorite fighter is Jamal Charlo.
That's what BBO said?
Yeah. It's really Tank.
BBO is on one.
Yeah. Well, BBO
just say things for shock value.
Yeah.
He don't be believing half the stuff he say.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking about Tank and, you know, his ability to take a punch, man, like he got hit square on the body numerous times. I do know that one time he did get connected on by Barrios, and it kind of like threw him back a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a body shot, but he came back and hit him with a body shot that put him on the floor. Put him on the canvas. So
that was when he was ready to get him out of there, right?
Yeah, Tank something else, man. Like, he's something special. And like I said, because they do a arm reach from you extending your arms outward. Tank got a narrow frame, so his chest is smaller, it's not as wide, and also his fingers aren't as long. So, you know, when they do that, they make you extend your fingers out, and you take into consideration that they've got wider chests. So that makes his arm reach even significantly smaller than what it really is. If they were to go forward with it, it'd be a lot closer to some of the people that they fight, because he actually has a pretty nice size, or nice reach for his size. But like I said, it's not gonna be seen going outside his body. If you go forward, you would see it, because there are some people who have wider shoulders, wider chest, and things like that. And Tank don't have that. He's really a small frame cat.
Yes, he is. Man, just think if Tank was about 6'2" or something. Wow.
But I can't wait for, you know, these fights that's coming up, though. Especially that Better Be Even and Bivol fight. That fight right there, I can't wait to see.
I know. Who you got in that one?
I got Better Be by knockout, either rounds 9, 10, or 11.
Damn. I think we're all going to be able to hold him off, and I think we're all going to be able to work his way to a 12th round decision, man.
Yeah, that's the way he's going to have to win. He's going to have to stay. He's going to have to stay on his toes and not get hit, because, like, the thing, like I said, that's undervalued in Tank, I think is also undervalued in Better Be. I think people don't recognize how great a boxer he is and how much he moves within a little space to make people miss, but he in the same spot to reach them, and that's one of the things that he does very well.
He can make that ring small on you too. I see him do that.
Definitely do that. Yeah. Well, you know, as a fighter, you should know how to make that ring small.
Yeah.
Especially when you know to get fighters out of there. You got to do what you didn't do.
He patient.
To make sure.
Too. He don't rush his stuff, you know. He take his time. You know, he's like, I'm going to get you. I don't have to get you right now. You know, he's very patient.
Yeah, patience is good. But both of them are excellent with patience.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I can't wait for that one either. Who else is on that card? I haven't really looked at that. That's the Riyadh season, right? Turkey Ali Sheik and the boys. Ain't that Riyadh season? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
They usually have pretty good card.
Char, I was talking about the memo that you wrote for me. I was asking if you could put that
Let me see. I'm gonna take a look
on
at
my phone as well, because that's how I'm gonna be pretty much interacting with folks, more so on my phone, because the computer is often taken by
that's
children and people who have
Riyadh season.
school studies.
I think that's Turkey Ali Sheik's next card, I believe. Or is it
Yeah,
one before?
That's his next card. That's his next card.
Yeah, he usually put them together because he throw that money out there. Everybody's willing to go there and fight on his cards. But you know
That's also the card where Shakur's going to be on.
Oh, is that the one?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, that's the one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Joe Cordina.
Yeah.
I think Jai Apataya on that card too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got him on there. You know who was nice too? That Agit Kabayel. People need to watch out for him, man. That dude is legit. I think he has the stuff to become champion up in there real soon.
He is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Apataya. I would like to see him and Joshua. Kabayel.
Yeah, Kabayel is nice, man. I like him. I think that well, before he gets in there with Joshua, they probably put him through a sacrificial lamb, something like
he made Makhmadov quit. That big Russian guy made him quit with body punches.
And you know, Makhmadov was out there tearing stuff up. He was tearing stuff up.
Kabayel made him take a knee. Body punches.
He ran into a young, hungry lion that was starving.
And he come right at you. Remember the Frank Sanchez fight? He come right at you and mix it up, man. Yeah. No fear. I like his attitude.
Oh, Mrs. Cass finally woke up. What's going on, Mrs. Cass? How you doing, better half?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I like Kabayel's attitude though, T Hill. He's a fighter. That really is the guy to watch in the heavyweight division. I think he's the one that's gonna give most people trouble up in here. Like I say, I think he deserves like a Parker fight, you know what I'm saying? Or that would be good.
That would be hella good. That right there will prove his worth right there, because Parker's a tremendous boxer.
Because Parker was commentating the fight between Kabayel and Sanchez. He sure was.
Yeah, he probably was trying to take notes too.
Yeah, they asked him about it.
Yeah, that's right, Melanin Queen. I'm talking about that. Yeah,
he didn't say too much, but they asked Parker about a fight with Kabayel, and he kind of like dodged around it and stuff. But, he didn't want to say too much. But that would be good. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that matchup. I would love to see him fight anybody who is constant rotation with big fights. So him, I would love to see the Bakoli Zhang fight. I think that will be hella entertaining.
Bakoli.
Yeah, Bakoli. I think like you get him in the right. If you get the right cornerman with him, you got something special there. That dude can do some things, but he definitely gotta watch overreaching. He be overreaching stuff.
Yeah, he just ran to Jared Anderson like he was a stepchild or something.
Yeah, I don't think Jared Anderson really respected him.
Oh man, he just
and he paid dearly for that too.
Bakoli, man, that was bad.
Bakoli didn't come to play. Bakoli came to handle business.
That was bad, man. Wow. Yeah. You say his team, his corner. Who does he have? Some local. Where's he from? Africa somewhere? Bakoli. Isn't he African or something?
It's something like that. Let me find out.
You say we need a better team, a better corner or something?
Yeah, I would try to work on somebody who understands how to use the jab and the various to give him something that keeps people off balance, because his power game is great. Yeah. When he hits, he throws heavy punches. You could tell he throws heavy punches.
Yeah, when they hit you,
and he can absorb punches too, man. But you don't want him eating punches just to get his stuff off.
No. Yeah, better see. He could use a better defense. Yeah, See that?
Yeah, and you know, you need to work on him, like being a little bit more responsible.
That was a good
Like
name
that.
for him, though, Jared Anderson. Yeah.
Because you're in a division where one punch can literally end the fight.
Change the whole fight around, you know. Change the whole complexion of it, one punch, you know. And Jared Anderson was supposed to be the next big thing, but Coley ended that.
Yeah, but Jared Anderson also got issues that he's battling too. So, you know, people have to take a look at that.
3 years he was going to be out of boxing. I don't like that, man. You know, like your mind ain't really in it. You talking nonsense like that. Remember he was talking that kind of stuff? 3 years he would be out of the game. And I mean, even if you feel that way, just keep that to yourself. And then 3 years, just get out. We don't need to know all that. Like your mind ain't really in it. Boxing is a lot mental, man, you know?
Well, yeah, everything pretty much is, man. When you got to go through something grueling, you got to have your mind conditioned for it. If it's not, then, you know, your body's going to follow.
Yeah.
Because if you tell yourself it's difficult, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
You tell yourself it's light work, you're going to make it light work.
He was almost like he just in there to make money or something, that, you know. And see what happened, got in there against somebody like Coley. That might break him around. He still got talented young man. He can bounce back, you know.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. Yeah. If his mind is right.
We just got, like you said, you got to rededicate himself to the sport. So,
that's the word I was looking for, man. Dedicated. Yeah, it didn't seem like he was too dedicated or something. Yeah. That's the exact word I was looking for. You got to have that dedication, especially the sport of boxing. That's a serious sport.
Oh, yeah, that's a sport you don't play around with.
You can get hurt.
Otherwise, it's going to play you.
Like you just said, one punch.
Yeah, one punch definitely changes the perspective of things.
Yeah.
Also, man, you know, this situation with Boots, Norman, and I should say the Normans, and I'm gonna put Eddie in there too.
Yeah.
Only because Eddie said that he would make the big fights.
I know.
I mean, that fight ain't big from a standpoint of opponents because, like I said, for the most part, Brian Norman Jr.
Boots wanted to be undisputed, so that was big because that was a belt for him.
Exactly. It's big in that perspective.
For him, man. Because that's what he was trying to accomplish, you know?
So for that alone, like I said, man, you know, just 2 to 3% uptick on the pricing for the tickets, the pricing for the concessions.
Yeah.
And then the parking would have more than equated what they needed to cover for that fight.
And the purse bid got outbidded by, I think, $500,000, I heard.
Well, he didn't want to win the purse bid because he don't want to waste the fight on.
Turkey Ali Sheekin got that. He done did business with Turkey before, you know?
Yeah.
And now the Boots supposed to fight Kern in Germany somewhere. That's crazy. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely heard that.
Kern's promotional company won the purse bid and they want the fight to be in Germany. If not, Boots gonna have to vacate his belt.
And I think that's ultimately what Eddie wants. Because Eddie knows that fight right there not gonna generate that much income.
Yeah.
And that'll be a wasted fight for him because he already seen that fight before.
Right.
And
Eddie dropped the ball, man, because Boots was trying to be undisputed. Eddie needed to make that fight for him. That's why he went over there. He thought Eddie could help him attain that goal. So fights like that, he was dependent on Eddie making for him, you know?
So what I would suggest, like I say, if I was him, I would have talked to Eddie and I would have been like, look, man, we gonna get my people to show up in Philly. Mm-hmm. And you know we did well the last time with Philly. Well, yeah. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna promote this myself in my city. And I'm gonna tell them how big a fight this is. This is a unification bout.
That's right.
That we gonna turn up and we gonna celebrate for it.
That's right.
I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna put on, like he like to say, a beautiful show, a beautiful display of boxing, and I'm gonna get him up out of there. But I'm gonna need you guys to support by showing up and by getting these tickets, getting some concessions, and making sure you bring enough vehicles that we can have them suckers parked. And then just tell Eddie, look, man, you know, we gonna scale up a little bit on the parking, the concession stands, and the price of the ticket.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim. Okay, Mike, you say you put a profile in the earlier chat? Yeah, but what I was saying to you was Eddie was supposed to make that fight because that's why Boots went over there. He thought he got
put a profile in Mike Magic.
He thought he could help him get undisputed. Eddie's still under. He's not even interested in doing that, man. Supposed to went all out to get him that fight. Boots want belts. You know?
Oh, Mark Meadow from New York by way of Jersey City.
Oh, you looking at what Mike had put in?
Nah, that was a while back, but it was
yeah, I couldn't get
the
back to
profile
it.
that he wanted you to check out.
To do. What was the name of it? Chill, you see it?
Mark Meadow from
Mark
New York.
Meadow, okay. Okay,
by
I got
way
it,
of
Mike.
Jersey City, New Jersey.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it. Yeah, I'll find it. Medal.
You said what again?
Medal. Is that how you spell
it? Oh, no. Yeah, it's Medal.
Okay. I'll find it. Wait. Yeah. Okay, Mike. Appreciate it. I'll take care of it. Thank you, Mike. I didn't even see it when he put it in there. I got to pay more attention. Yeah. Okay. Lonnie Lee didn't come in today, did he?
I didn't see Lonnie Lee in there today.
No.
He could be on voyeur status.
He probably has something going on because he normally come in, when he get off work. Yeah, I got it, Mike. Thank you. That's coming up. Profile on Mark Meadow. Might get some good profiles. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and come back in. I'm coming in low right now. Hold on.
I said you loud and clear. Okay. Miss Joette, how are you today? Good to see you. Miss Joette is in the building. We were just going a little over today since Just Do Boxing is not coming on. We're gonna hang around for like about 15 more minutes or so. Yeah, but salute Miss Joette. Just chopping it up with Thomas Hill. Everything's going good. Hope your day is going well too, Miss Joette. There's Thomas Hill right there. I can't find my cursor. There it is.
Lovely Miss Joette. Now you know Miss Joette is a survivor. She's a tough cookie, and on top of that, she's an undercover boss. Want to wish him, yeah. We want to miss Miss Joette a healthy recovery. She had some work done in her mouth, and I don't think that if the people did
today
the best of jobs. Now this was a while back, so she's been recovering. You know how it is when you get dental work, man. Anything inside the mouth is gonna hurt. So she's fighting through the pain, but she's getting stronger day by day. And she suffered she suffered 3rd-degree burns too. So, she's recovering from that too.
I didn't know.
But she's a tough cookie though.
What? You okay?
Yeah, she's tough. That's why you hadn't seen her much. And then, on top of that.
I didn't know none of that, man.
Yeah, I don't know if she wanted to know people to know it, but I do know that she's a tough cookie, and she's showing you her resiliency.
Yeah. Everything's going good. Joette, appreciate you. Hope you're feeling okay. Yeah. But yeah, the schedule is looking real good. You know, the boxing schedule we got coming up.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we're still supposed to get Bam and Juan Francisco again. They haven't put that on there yet, but they were saying they're going to definitely do a rematch.
I'm pretty sure they'll do it. I'm pretty sure they'll do it.
Bam going to stop him again.
I would like to, man. I wish Chocolatito was still Chocolatito. I would love to see that.
He fought a couple months ago. Remember?
Yeah, he didn't look like the old Chocolatito though.
Not at all, man. No.
So that's a fight I wouldn't be interested in. But if it was the old Chocolatito, man, I'd have loved to see him square up with Bam.
Oh, they said they weren't going to fight each other though. They was too. They said they like brothers. They said they would never fight.
Well, I mean, Bam has a lot of respect for Chocolatito.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
But hey, man, I mean,
if that money is right, Jamel said he would fight Jamal if the money is right. They was on some podcast.
Well, they don't. They got to
complicate it. Do it. You know,
they got to complicate
it. But Mel said he would. You let the money be right.
Man, I'm not trying to hear. I'm not trying to hear. Man, Mel didn't want to fight Canelo. The money was definitely right. He didn't want to fight Canelo.
You mean Maul?
No, Mel didn't want to fight Canelo.
Oh, yeah, I see.
He got in a ring with Canelo, but he didn't want to fight Canelo.
That's what he would do with Maul. Get in there for the money. You know what I mean? But as far as the fight, yeah, that's exactly what he would do.
Yeah, because Maul got his head on tight, man. Maul a different dude. He
on the way
gets you up out of there. Yeah, hopefully. I don't know.
I heard both of them was in training.
They need to be in training upstairs, though. Upstairs is where they need to get their training.
Yeah, that's the thing with them.
They're head cases, bro. They gotta. In boxing, you can't have a hot head unless.
Yeah.
There's some people who, when they get upset, they get better. There are very few people who do that.
Not them. They've been having
they aren't those type of people.
Too much outside the ring been going on with them the last few years, man. You know, and they always starting stuff at other people's fights. They always the main attraction out in the audience and shit. You know, they had the thing with Benavidez at some fight. Remember, then the Caleb Plant situation. You know, they always coming somewhere and being that, you know.
See, to me, that's the fight that he need to make, too. You ain't going to put your hands on me and I'm just going to let that slide. I don't care even if it was my fault. Like, you going to see me no matter what. We got to go run that.
Maul and Caleb Plant is the one Remo won. Did he smack his wife or say something to his wife or something? One of the wives, didn't something happen with one of the wives or something?
Oh, well,
one of the brothers?
Yeah, I think Jamel's wife beat up on Jamal's wife.
Yeah.
Now, Jamel's wife is like a fighter, though, like, and she a Latina, too, I think. So, you know, she feisty. She liked to fight.
Yeah.
And the other one, I think she just run her mouth. She thought because she was bigger that, you know, old girl wouldn't put those dogs on her, but she put them paws on her like a champ.
She thought her size was going to intimidate her, right?
Yeah, for a lot of people believe that, man. I seen many little dudes with some big dudes' tails, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They weren't professionally trained boxers, but I seen a lot of little dudes with some big dudes' tails, and that's why I was telling somebody else, man. I know it's always more of an advantage to have size, but some people just different. You know, some people, hey man, they don't care how big you are. They know their stuff and they know how to attack your weak point. Yeah, they know how to hit you at your weak point, your pressure points to help you like really fold.
That's right. You're 100% right. Some people know how to fight, man. They don't care how big you is. Yeah. That is so true.
It was like I used to watch I love movies, man. And there was this one in the like early 90s. There was this one lady that used to make action flicks. Her name was Cynthia Rothrock. She was I want to say she was a former martial art champion and whatnot. She was in there making movies, kicking tail on dudes and whatnot. And I used to say, man, she ain't whooping my tail. I guarantee. But then I watched this one thing, man, where this one Asian martial artist dude, he was a little dude, man, but he was showing you how to subdue people and manipulate their body, even if they're bigger with you, using like pressure points. Oh man, he was doing people dirty. I was like, golly, this dude is no joke, man. And like Miss Joette said, sometimes size don't even matter.
It sure don't. No.
But you notice that she also covered up her face, so Miss Joette at times can be playful. But Miss Joette herself is a dynamite package. She a dynamo in a very, very small, petite package. So she letting it be known she do big things. She do big things, no matter how small she is. She pack a punch. So that's why Tank Davis is, I guess, her favorite fighter, because he's small and packs a big punch too.
Sometimes good things come in small packages,
Ain't that right, Miss Joette?
They had this move in the wrestling back in the remember called the small package.
Who used to do that move? I think I remember that.
I think it might have been one of the British Bulldogs, one of them, something like that. Get you in a small package, just over with.
Yeah, I remember that name right there. I used to love me some wrestling, man. You know what changed me on wrestling, man?
What was that?
It was. I just couldn't. I couldn't rock with Hulk Hogan, right? That was.
Oh yeah.
The dude that everybody loved. That secretly I didn't like him, man. But my my wrestlers was Jimmy Super. Back then was Jimmy Superfly Snuka and Randy Macho Man Savage. Those was my two favorite wrestlers back then. I liked a lot of other ones, but my two favorite ones was Macho Man and Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And that one fight between him and at WrestleMania, I forgot. I think it was WrestleMania 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And
WrestleMania.
we went to see it, man, and Macho Man was whooping his tail, hitting with the flying elbow that ends all his fights, man, and this fool kicked out. I was hot because once he kicked out, I said, "Oh, they gonna let this Mickey Freaky win." And that's when I knew. I was like, yo, man, you know what, man? If I didn't believe, I was refusing to believe it was scripted. I knew it was scripted at that point in time.
Remember the Road Warriors? Hawk and Animal?
Hawk and Animal, the Legion of Doom.
Their manager used to be ready to fight. Was it Paul Ellering?
Demolition. Man, I remember all the tag teams.
Hawk
the Legion of Doom.
There was some good guys there too, man.
Yeah, man. They had what were the Hillbillies?
Oh yeah. What was it called? I know.
they had
guys. Okay.
They had Greg the Hammer Valentine and Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
They got the British Bulldogs, the Rockers. Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, deep into that, man. Yeah.
Man, I was big into it, man. Another thing, man, with not Macho Man. He beat Andre the Giant, man, and I know no way in hell he beat Andre the Giant.
Wouldn't nobody beating Andre 500 pounds if this shit was real, man. He'd be undefeated. Like
I'm gonna tell you right now, man, Big John Studd, I got the most respect for him. He said, man, one day we were supposed to do something, and Andre told, and everybody knew it. Andre said like it was something he didn't like, and Big John Studd would always do it. So he told him, don't do it, otherwise, man, I'm gonna hurt you. Right. And Andre, he did it, man, and the match was supposed to look a certain way, man. Yeah. Andre said, bump that, dog, and it got. He said they put him in the hospital, man.
Put Big John in the hospital?
Yeah, he put Big John in the hospital. Big John said that from that point forward, man, he ain't mess with Andre no more.
Big John was a big dude too. He was damn near like 7 feet too.
Yeah, remember? Big John was like 6'10", I think.
Yeah.
6'10", 6'9", something like that.
But Andre was like 500 pounds.
Yeah, man, 7'4", something like that, man. That was a big dude. 7'5", 7'5".
Never been beaten, man.
Yeah, that's what and somebody came out and said, he said, man, if it was really real, man, nobody would beat Andre. He said that dude
no way.
was strong. He was still agile. So you couldn't do anything with you, man. He said these hands that he possessed, man.
Yeah.
He said he could wrap his hand around your head, bro. That is freaking amazing.
But you know what, T. Hill? They were scripted, but those guys were some good athletes the way they could move and stuff in there, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So that stuff, that's right to the choreography and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That displays their athleticism.
Yes, sir.
Like when they get hurt, they get hurt. It ain't like they not faking injuries. They get hurt.
No. Yes.
You remember Mankind? He went by that name. He went by what else he go by?
Oh, you have a great one too, Miss Joette. Appreciate
Oh yeah, you about to go out? All right, have a great day, a great evening too. She over there at nighttime. Have a great evening, Miss Joette.
They're not too far off of
us. Take care of yourself.
Canada.
Off of you guys,
right?
Off of you guys, you got to remember, I'm all the way on the other side.
Oh, you in California though? Right?
Yeah, I'm on the other side of town.
I'm thinking that you right here.
See, like my man said, maybe it's cold on the East Coast on the other side of town, but over here it never rains.
So it's like 1 o'clock out there, right? Where you
at? I'm at 126. I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, we got almost 4:30.
So it's just like 4:30. It's almost time for evening. Yeah,
I forget that. Yeah, you on the different time zones than we are.
Yeah.
We got Monday Night Football. Did you see that Ravens and Chiefs game Thursday, man?
I saw it, man.
The thing ended.
Yeah.
Talk about a game of inches, man. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great call, though, man. I mean, he was out.
It was the right
call. I mean,
he was out.
What I did like, because that's what we were talking about. See, we were talking about him stepping up and making the plays. Well, in that game, he stepped up and he made the play. Now, you would like for that receiver to keep them toes in and lean forward, but I mean, it's a bang bang play. It's in the heat of the moment, man. It's hard.
It's hard, man. That's
a hard to have it.
Keep them.
But it was a great game.
Just like the tip of his toe. But it was a good call. It was the right call, man.
Yeah, it was the right call, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that was a bang start to the season. So yeah. Did you Eagles win Friday? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they came back and won, man. And to all my Giants fans, man, I want to thank you guys sincerely for the way that you guys treated Saquon Barkley, because he had a great opening debut. Hopefully he can continue to stay healthy and provide like that for the team, man, because they have been lacking that punch for a long time. I mean, ever since really Shady left the team.
Yeah, no.
Boy, it was the last time that they had somebody that was actually,
make an addition to him. Yeah.
So it made a lot of difference. And they're going to be tough to deal with offensively, but they still a work in progress on that defense. So hopefully, the defense can come along, man, because you got to have defense. You don't win championships without not having the defense, man. You got to get stops.
You got to be able to you took the words out of my mouth, especially in them key moments. You got to be able to come up with stops.
And I'm going to say this because I know how people are, man. I've seen a team decimate another team for a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got caught up in trying to make somebody the reason for the victory instead of the true reason. The reason that they had to lead was they was running all day on this team, and they ran 6 times in the second half.
Damn.
And they lost the game. They were up 26 points.
Damn.
This is the Atlanta Falcons against the Patriots.
No. Yeah,
I'll never forget that.
Super Bowl. You talking about that?
I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
I saw that, and I saw the Seattle one against the Patriots, where Seattle should have won.
Too soon. I hate when they go in that prevent, get conservative shit. You got to
and then stop running the ball. They didn't run the ball on the second time, but 6 times. You ran all over this team, and you stopped running.
Yeah, and then you got Tom Brady over there, man. Tom Brady was over there at halftime like the game was even, telling them, "Come on, let's go, we got this." And he was over there like they was 28-28, man.
Yeah, man. I know we should be talking boxing, so this is the last thing I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
I hate the Cowboys. Cowboys is not my team, bro, by the longest.
They ain't going
I
nowhere.
respect them though. I respect them as a franchise, and I respect them because when your boy was the coach,
who's that?
and I'm talking about Jimmy Johnson, and he was the coach.
Mm-hmm.
If we can run on you,
you're gonna run,
and you can't stop it, I'll run the same damn play 5, 6, 7 times. If it's gonna work, and he would do it. Like, he would never abandon the running game because he knows the running game sets everything else up. And if you can't stop my running game, you can't stop us as an offense.
You can't stop nothing.
How do you stop your own running game? How do you stop running the ball, man? I never understood Atlanta. What's her name? Man, I thought they were on the take, bro. I felt like it was fixed and staged after that point. And there were certain things that would keep happening. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Look at it. I was just gonna say that one when Seattle was playing New England and had the ball on the 1 yard line, gonna throw a pass. When Marshawn ran it all the way to the 1. That's how you got to the 1 by running. Remember
the touchdown. I'm glad you made mention of that.
Too. I thought that was fixed.
Yeah, it was fixed. And I'm glad you made mention of that because I'm going to tell you, I think all of their, for real, I believe all of their Super Bowls were kind of staged. Mm-hmm. There was something that happened in every single Super Bowl that they won.
They should have lost.
Yeah, and it started with the Raiders. It started with the Raiders when they did that tuck rule.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that.
But that game that you just referenced, that freaking Seattle game,
that was crazy.
The prior touchdown to the one that they was about to that they scored before, Brady and them went back down and scored.
Yeah.
They gave the ball to Marshawn Lynch at the 2 yard line. He was hit in the hole by the biggest Negro on their team, Ted Washington, and he carried them into the end zone and scored the touchdown. How do you not on the 1 yard line not give this man the ball now? What, man? First down, he would have got it. Second down, he would have got it.
The play before that, he carried it from the 5 to the 1. So how did you decide to throw a pass then? Give it back.
I don't know, because they really tried to make Russell Wilson the MVP, man. That's the only thing I could think of. I think they tried to make because they were going against Tom Brady, and they wanted to mark his name by making the quarterback, the competing quarterback, the MVP. I don't care how I win. I just want to win. And if this man right here cannot be stopped, and he's getting the ball, and I'm gonna tell you like this. I would have gave it to him on second down. I would have gave it to him on, first down, second down, third down. And on fourth down, if I didn't give it to him, I would have faked it like I was going to give it to him. I would have bunched everything up to look it like it was going this way. And then the only way I would have did it, I would have bootlegged it.
Yeah.
With the quarterback carrying it the opposite way of the action, the flow of the action. But it would look like I'm still handing it off to him because you're going to have to stop it. And that's the only way.
If you're going to throw a pass from the 1 yard line, you ain't going to throw it in the middle of the field, in the middle of the line like that.
It's always got to be at the corners, man, or going off. You could start from the middle and shoot to a side, and those are safe passes.
The line, man.
Yeah, man.
I thought that was fixed.
I thought so too, and I wanted to say it was pass interference, but I forgot it was on the 1 yard line, so it can't be pass interference.
Yeah, the man. They tried to run the pick play, but the receiver got picked before he could get to the defensive back. He was supposed to pick. Another defensive back picked him off.
Yeah, they saw that. For some odd reason, they knew like that was coming too. And then there was the thing where they was taping people's practices too, man. It's so much stuff that goes along with this dang Patriot organization that, man, I don't really rock with them. Like they got away with so much.
When they beat the Chiefs that other Super Bowl, the referees changed that game. They kept making all those pass interference calls.
Exactly.
Against the Chiefs. They had them stopped. They gave them like 2 chances, 2 do-overs, like back to back, and then they got the touchdown. That kind of turned the whole complexion of the game around. It was the end of the first half. Yeah.
So,
but
yeah.
you're right. It's just so much happened in their games, man.
Yeah, there's so many different things that are.
Yeah. But you can't take nothing from Tom Brady, though. He is still a good quarterback. Legendary, man. That guy. I wouldn't bet against him. Him, Michael Jordan, or Patrick Mahomes, I ain't betting against neither one of them 3 people.
Right about that. You're right about that. Well, man, I gotta go make a run real quick.
I said 4:30. We can go all, like I was saying during the show. I'll call you for something for 5 minutes. We'll talk for 2 hours, man.
Yeah,
I gotta roll.
I love talking, man. We always have great conversation, especially when we're talking about things we got passion for, man. It's easy to continue to go and talk.
Miss Caston came in here like 2 times.
Okay, well, we definitely about to shut it down, Miss Cass. You ain't got to worry about it no more. You ain't got to peek through no more doors. He coming right now.
But I appreciate you, T. Hill.
Always.
And everybody else that joined the show today. No just you today.
Excellent show. Hopefully my man Ann McQueen will talk about getting up and putting the Casual Corner together right now. Hopefully.
Yeah, we got
all right then, Cass.
Okay, appreciate you, T. Hill. Next will be BVO Boxing News at 8 if Ant don't do the Casual's Corner. But I'm going to get ready to get out of here. We ran a little over because Just Do is not on the air today. I'll be back tomorrow because, if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Box Story, bringing you all of that boxing history. Okay. Miss Joette, BVO Boxing TV, Ace, Thomas Hill, #JBT, Cannabis Education and Entertainment TV, Ant McQueen, Banky and J Hardcore, #JBT, Boxing Talk with Banky and J Hardcore, #JBT, Jarrell Patty, Technique, Trump, Let's Talk Fashion, #JBT. Yeah, you got that age discrimination suit coming. Melanin Queen 27, Al Booger, Mike Mazik, Miss Cass, #JBT. And everybody have a great day. BVO Boxing TV is up at 8 o'clock p.m. in the Rise Podcast. I'm Cass Sports. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great afternoon. Good day, y'all.